Hi and welcome. This recording is especially for you to be listened to if you are feeling anxious or when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling highly stressed, when you're feeling that the whole world is currently falling apart, right? Um, it is made for you can watch it or you can just listen to it. I will at sometimes close my eyes because it helps me to really help you better, right? I recommend not listening to this while driving, while you're pretty much operating any kind of vehicle. It is best listened to if you have a headset, and I would just invite you to have an open mind. And with that, let's get started. The first thing that I want you to remember is whatever you're experiencing right now is temporary. It is temporary. This is not going to last forever. There's going to be a moment when this feeling will subside. Typically, when we accept a certain negative feeling, it subsides much quicker than when we fight it, when we judge it. I've had to learn this myself, where oftentimes when I was feeling bad, when I was feeling some sort of negative emotion, when I was feeling anxious or angry or full of worry, I was judging myself for it. That I was pretty much asking, why am I feeling this way? I shouldn't be feeling this way. Or why can't I feel better? Why can't I be happy like everybody else? None of these questions help. None of these questions help at all, right? In that moment, what I literally do is I accept what I'm experiencing right now. And I say this to myself, and you can say this to yourself as well while you're listening to this. I accept the anger I'm feeling right now. I accept the worry I'm feeling right now. I accept that this is a part of me. I accept that I am feeling these emotions. You're a human being. Every single person on this world has experienced the emotions you're experiencing right now at least once in their life. And whoever hasn't, trust me, hasn't lived their life to the fullest, right? So and then you might say, but it still keeps coming back, right? But I might still feel like shit, right? I might still feel like I could beat up somebody, right? Yes, and we're not going to say yes, but we're going to use yes, and. This comes from improv, right? This is a very good improv theater trick. You're going to say yes, and I accept that these emotions are a part of me. I accept that I'm feeling them. I approach them with curiosity. Let me see what these emotions actually want to tell me, right? I want to understand where they're coming from. And you might not get an answer immediately. You might not get an answer right now. But if you listen, I'm going to give you some time to listen within you right now. Close your eyes if you can, if you're in a spot where you can. If not, keep your eyes open, obviously. But just listen within you in that stillness. What's coming up when you're asking yourself, hey, what does that anxiety want to tell me? What is it that I'm actually afraid of? And whenever your mind wants to say, I don't know, say, yes, I want to know. I don't know is a protection mechanism from your mind that it actually doesn't want to go deep enough, right? So you say, yes, I want to know. So let's do this for about a minute now. And just to ask yourself, where is this anxiety or panic or worry or anger or fear coming from? What does it want to tell me? Whenever you feel your thoughts are going somewhere else, take a deep breath and breathe fully out. And ask yourself that question again. What does that anxiety want to tell me? Where is that fear coming from? And I invite you to slowly come back to your breath. The one thing that you might have noticed is that when you get into the panic and anxiety mode, you're not breathing properly, right? Our breathing becomes very shallow, like, right? We don't breathe properly because our body goes into fight or flight mode. That's what happens anytime you are in panic, worry, fear, anger mode. Your body goes into fight or flight. And the quickest way to slow this down is with your breath. So we're going to do this next. We're going to practice this for about a minute, where you breathe in for 4 seconds and you breathe out for 7 seconds. Breathing out longer than you breathing in activates your parasympathetic nervous system, and with that tells your body that you're safe, even if your mind does not tell you that, right? But in order to change our mind, we got to work how to change with our physiology, right? And the breath is one of the most powerful ways to do that. So, and obviously, you can do this, wherever you are. You don't have to close your eyes for this. You can. Um, let's get started. I'm going to count with you. I'll guide you through this. So, breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And well done. If you want, you can, of course, keep going in this way while you're listening to this. Now, the other thing that I want you to understand is while you are in panic mode, you cannot think clearly. Your brain cannot, or your body cannot heal, and your brain cannot make clear decisions when you are in panic or stress mode. Because all that your blood does, it flows into your arms, into your legs, in order so that you can run, right? Or fight. So the blood goes away from all the necessary organs you have around your tummy, around your back, in your brain, but you actually need to think, right? So that's why it's important to calm down, right? Now, the next thing I want you to do is to take a sheet of paper and a pen. If you do this, pen and paper, it will have a much stronger effect than if you do this on your phone. And the reason is when we do something physiologically, we write something, we engage a completely different part of our brain than when we just type something on our phone, right? If you're, of course, somewhere where you currently don't have a pen and paper, it's better than nothing if you do it on your phone. But if you have a pen and paper, please use pen and paper, right? And I want you to write down at least 5 situations right now that you have overcome in your life where you thought you would not overcome them. So write down at least 5 situations, starting with I have, right? For example, I have lost X amount of money in the past and I was able to recoup it within X amount of time. Or I have lost a partner before and I was able to find love again. Or I have lost a job before, but or and I was able to do XYZ, right? Write those down. I'll give you about 30 seconds just with some stillness for you to write down these 5 examples. The more you write, the better. All right. Now, what I want you to do is to look at these at least 5 examples, pick out one or two, and for the next 30 seconds, 45 seconds, just feel into these situations. How did it feel when you fell in love again? How did it feel when you got that surplus of a certain amount of savings on your bank account again? How did it feel when you got that support again? Right? So just feel into it again. If you can close your eyes, it would be better. If not, just practice it. Just feel into that. Now, we want to make sure that when you want to change your emotions, your feelings, your physiology, that you spend at least 17 seconds in that new state, and ideally, like at least a minute, right? Because what you are doing when you're creating a certain feeling and emotion instead of just reacting to it is you're teaching your body and your mind that it does not have to depend on these thoughts, it doesn't have to follow them. It teaches it that it can create your state of being and your state of emotion. Even if right now that might not seem possible, even if right now that doesn't seem plausible for you, trust me, it is practice over practice over practice, right? It's something that you do over and over again, and it gets easier as you go. Now, I want you to stick with that pen and paper and now write down 5 things that you are grateful for. Could be something that happened today, in the last like 24 hours, in the last week. And sometimes that's just a cup of coffee that you had that tasted really good. Sometimes it might be a call with somebody. Gratitude is not about, oh, I just sold my business, or oh, I just, got married, like the big things. Those can be really, really good things to be grateful for. But again, what matters more is being grateful for the smaller things in your life, right? Because when you're grateful and you shift your focus towards what you're grateful for, you're telling your mind, hey, instead of that anxiety thing over here, or that worry thing, let's focus on that. Let's focus on the good coffee I had, on the good conversation I had. And over time, what your brain will do it will focus more and more on giving you situations that give you that good coffee, that give you those good conversations, right? And the reason behind that is that 80% of our thoughts in the subconscious, right? So if you do not focus your conscious mind on the right things, your subconsciousness will keep giving you that fear and that worry because that's what it's programmed to do, right? As human beings, we are programmed to be fearful because thousands of years ago, we had a lot of like danger everywhere. We had a lot of like things that would threaten our life, right? But these days, there are no saber-toothed tigers around the corner. In most cases, we don't get shot when we go out on the street, right? And we live a fairly safe life. The problem is our brain is still reacting as if it was 5, 10, 20, 50,000 of years ago, right? So this is why we have to take an active part in reprogramming our brain. And the way you do this is by shifting your focus proactively. Now, I know this may be really, really hard, especially when you're overwhelmed with fear, when you feel like there's no way out, when you feel like you're really desperate, when you kind of like, where's my life going? What am I even doing? Right? But trust me, I have to do this every single time as well. And I do this proactively. I just take up all the strength that I have and I focus on it. Even if you feel like you have no strength left, trust me, you can do this, right? Because it's the easiest thing that you can do in order to get yourself out of whatever you're experiencing right now, right? Of whatever you're feeling. And the point is not to deny whatever you're feeling. Again, this is why we work with accepting your emotions in the first place, right? But we want to make sure you get into a state of being where you can actually find a way forward, where you can actually find a solution to what I've experienced, where you can actually see opportunities that would be of help for you. Because if your brain is focused the whole time on stress and anxiety, then that's all it sees. It's going to bring you situations that mirror that stress and anxiety to you, right? But we want your brain to start practicing on seeing situations that make you feel grateful, that, bring you maybe a new client, that maybe bring you a new job, that help you see these little glimpses and these little wins so that you can change the trajectory of whatever you're experiencing, right? So write down 5 things that you're grateful for right now. And while this can be bullet points, make sure you write sentences. Don't just write words like hot coffee, right? Write down, I had a really good hot coffee this morning and I just loved how that woke me up or tasted in my mouth, right? So write like 5 sentences of that. If you find it hard to find things that you're grateful for, look for the smallest possible things. Is it the clothes that you're wearing? Is it that you're in a safe space? Is it that you got a good bed that you're lying in right now? Right? Is it that maybe you're, in this case, I'm grateful for my nail polish, right? Or like my lipstick, right? The smallest things. It doesn't have to be big things, right? The smallest things matter. All right. When you've done that, we're going to do the same thing as before again. We're going to feel into it, right? So I'm going to give you about 30 to 45 seconds right now to just feel into these 5 things, or if you've written down more that you're grateful for. How did that coffee taste, right? How did that conversation go? How does your bed feel, right? How does it feel to look at your fingernails, right? In this case, again, small things, right? To just feel into it. Now, when you're done with that, I hope that you are already experiencing a little bit of a shift in your body, right? The other tip that I want to give you is something very easy to also help us change our physiology, which might be strange, right? But again, if you're somewhere else, go to the bathroom, right? It's only going to take a minute. If you feel embarrassed or something, but if you fake smile for a minute, your brain cannot help but feel happy because you're changing the physiology of your face. You're literally changing how your muscles move. And that signals your brain, hey, he or she is smiling, right? And then that way will automatically help you feel happy. Now, in some bad moments, for me, that start of the smile looks like this, right? And that's okay. You're getting started. And the most important thing is to push through that 1 minute, right? You might see your mind wander, you might find it go to different thoughts and so on, and that's okay, right? When that happens, remember to breathe. So we'll get started on this together, and I'm gonna help you navigate this a little bit. But I'm gonna count them from 5, and then you'll simply put your mouth in a smiling position. That's all you need to do. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it might even feel exhausting, right? When you do it, you're like, I don't feel like that. I feel like shit, right? But she's telling you to do that, so I do it, right? And that's okay. Again, you just want to focus on changing your physiology. You don't have to believe in it even, right? It's just a thing that happens for you. Just keep on smiling. And if you feel like your cheeks are a little bit hurting, that's okay. That's okay. Just keep it up, right? Just keep it up. Awesome. You did a minute. Well done. Well done. And if you didn't complete the minute, that's okay too. This might have been your first time that you did this exercise. That's okay too. What matters is that you do it. Let me know what helped you most of this, right? Of course, if you're listening to this, you can just save it, share it with whoever you think it might be helpful for. And I hope you got some value out of this. And I'll see you in the next one.